Drift back with us, dear friends, to a time when stories breathed through light and motion alone, when emotion lived in gesture, and cinema spoke straight to the heart without a single spoken word. Released in 1915, The Little Teacher comes from Mack Sennett, the Canadian-born architect of screen slapstick, and stars Roscoe "Fatty" Arbuckle, whose agility and timing made him one of the silent era's most beloved performers. Alongside him is Mabel, a luminous pioneer whose charm, wit, and physical comedy helped define early screen comedy. The year this film appeared was anything but quiet. World War I raged overseas. Charlie Chaplin introduced audiences to The Tramp. And Alexander Graham Bell completed the first transcontinental telephone call, shrinking the world even as films like this offered escape from it. On the surface, The Little Teacher is a playful rural comedy, but beneath the laughter lies a story about authority, resilience, and belonging. A young woman enters a classroom ruled by disorder, facing not only unruly students but expectations, isolation, and the challenge of being underestimated. More than a century later, these struggles still feel familiar to anyone who has ever tried to earn respect in a difficult environment. Another theme running quietly beneath the comedy is community. Small-town life here is affectionate but intrusive, supportive yet judgmental. The film captures how easily a community can lift someone up, or push them aside. Acceptance, then as now, is fragile and often earned through patience rather than force. There is also a gentle undercurrent of independence. Norman's character isn't waiting to be rescued, she's actively shaping her place in the world. For 1915 audiences, that was quietly progressive, and her determination still feels reassuring today. As you watch, notice how physical comedy replaces dialogue, how timing and glances carry meaning, and how laughter becomes a way to navigate uncertainty. Stay, after school, with us following the film as we explore the cast, the culture behind it, and the legacy hidden within its simple gags. For now, let the projector's clatter carry you into this small classroom, where patience is tested and silent cinema reminds us that its voice has never truly faded. When the final frame fades, the little teacher leaves behind a feeling like chalk dust suspended in sunlight. There is mischief in the air, but also patience, endurance, and a quiet belief that disorder can be softened rather than conquered. The laughter lingers gently, mixed with the image of a lone figure standing her ground in a room that refuses to behave. It feels playful on the surface, yet reflective underneath, like a smile that carries a little wisdom with it. The film was shaped by Mack Sennett, born Michael Sennett on January 17, 1880, in Richmond, Quebec, Canada. Raised by Irish immigrant parents on a farm, Sennett gravitated toward performance before finding his true calling behind the camera. He entered films in 1908 at Biograph, acting, writing, and directing under D.W. Griffith, where he learned the fundamentals of visual storytelling. In 1912, he co-founded Keystone Studios in Los Angeles and built what became the most influential comedy factory of the silent era. Sennett emphasized speed, spectacle, and physical chaos, turning improvisation, chase scenes, and ensemble mayhem into a recognizable comic language. At Keystone, films were produced at a relentless pace, often outdoors and loosely scripted. He created the Keystone Cops, popularized large-scale slapstick, and produced the first American feature-length comedy, Tilly's Punctured Romance. He also launched or elevated the careers of Charlie Chaplin, Mabel Normand, and Roscoe "Fatty" Arbuckle. Though his style later fell out of fashion, Sennett's influence shaped screen comedy for decades. He received a Special Academy Award in 1937 and died in California in 1960, remembered as the architect of cinematic slapstick. One of his greatest stars was Roscoe "Fatty" Arbuckle, born in 1887 and dead by 1933. Despite the nickname, Arbuckle was light on his feet, capable of graceful acrobatics and precise timing. He became a Keystone favorite and then one of the first performers to gain real creative control, co-founding the Comique Film Corporation and directing his own films. He helped introduce Buster Keaton to movie audiences and briefly became one of the highest-paid entertainers in the world. His career collapsed after a scandal in 1921 that ended in acquittal but not forgiveness. For years he worked quietly as a director under another name, beginning a modest comeback just before his sudden death. Today, his reputation is increasingly restored as a foundational figure in screen comedy. Mabel Normand, born in 1892 and gone by 1930, was far more than a leading lady. She was a central creative force at Keystone, helping define its rhythm and tone while acting, writing, and directing at a time when few women held such authority. Normand co-starred with Chaplin and Arbuckle, appeared in Tilly's Punctured Romance, and combined emotional clarity with fearless physical comedy. By her early 20s, she was directing her own films. Off-screen, illness and scandal clouded her later years, including tabloid attention surrounding the unsolved murder of her friend William Desmond Taylor. Tuberculosis ultimately ended her career, but her influence remains deeply felt. The production of The Little Teacher reflects Keystone's rapid-fire approach. Filmed quickly, often outdoors, and shaped by improvisation, performers were expected to take real falls and adapt on the fly. Water gags, roughhousing, and physical risk were routine. Normand was known for refusing special treatment, matching her co-stars beat for beat. Culturally, the film captures a society in transition. In 1915, authority was being questioned, women were asserting independence, and social order felt fragile. The classroom becomes a metaphor for a world learning restraint rather than domination. Seen today, The Little Teacher reminds us that humor has long been a response to chaos. It suggests that patience can be louder than authority, and that even the most unruly rooms can be softened with empathy. And if nothing else, it proves that classroom management was already a nightmare more than a century ago. The classroom bell rang loudly, and the students dashed out so fast that even the Keystone Cops would have called it a chase scene. Thank you for watching with Quality Silent Films. We hope you'll return as we continue sharing silent classics enriched with history, biography, and context, because the past still has plenty to say, even when it says it silently.